What's up, fellow Wastelanders? Woohoo! Here it is, Fallout 4. The hype train has arrived, and this game has delivered in spades across the board from top to bottom in every way. It has just blown me away. What I've seen of it so far is just incredible. Now, for those of you that may be new to my channel, I like to play these types of games, usually on harder difficulties, and then once I become really familiar with them, I will even maybe set some challenges for myself to keep it interesting and just have fun with it, but share my passion and experience with the game. For those of you that have been here for a while, you know that I do normally like to get really familiar with my games and then come back and share those that way, and I'd even talked about that with this game, but I couldn't hold off any longer. This game is so amazing, so beautiful. There's so many wow moments. Just in the little bit that I've tasted of it, I had to just go ahead and start. Like I said, I got an idea of what the combat was expecting. We'll go ahead and put it on survival mode, which is basically very hard, plus some hardcore elements that kind of trickled over from New Vegas, which is very cool. And we'll just run with it from there. But a lot of this is going to be new to me also. So we can kind of share these wow moments together. But anyway, I've been really excited for this, and this game has just been too long in coming. So let's just do it.
War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the U.S. ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself, for my wife, for my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes.
Wow. Chills. Graphics are so beautiful, it's hard to discern between real footage and rendered graphics. Crazy.
War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
Absolutely. Now get ready and stop hogging the mirror.
Right.
As per usual,
Hey, my turn, big guy.
I like to play a female character in most of my RPGs, especially in Fallout, as you have the Black Widow perk. And since a lot of the human enemies are male, you advantage a little bit by being a female character instead of playing a male character. So now, one thing I was really impressed with here is the body models and like the movement seemed a lot more natural than in previous Fallouts. Like the running and stuff was a lot less clunky. It was very graceful and stuff. Really, really love the animations in this. I love everything about this game, honestly. But I was really impressed with that. Okay, now one of the first mind-blowing moments was to realize just how in-depth this character creation here is. For those who find making a face important, there were just unlimited options here, really. You can contort every part of the face. I mean, completely. It's incredible. Now, I didn't have like, like a famous actor or any of that in mind making this character or any other video game characters in mind, really.
Sean has my eyes.
Except in my character's name, but we'll get to that later. What I was thinking was, okay, you have like this middle-aged housewife who's about to get thrown into the chaos. I mean, we all know Fallout, you're fixing to get out there and get in the middle of it, right? As your character. So, how would that affect somebody, you know? How would that person look afterwards? I mean, you'd be changed. You have to get into a fighting role. And here, I think her backstory is she's something of like she's like a lawyer or something who took time off to have a baby and then raise the baby or something. I think there's some references to that. But anyway, that type of person there, suburban, young, middle-aged housewife fixing to get thrown into the middle of it. You know, wow. Anyway, so kind of had that in mind. I was like, oh, how would that character look? Kind of hardened a little bit. You have to be somewhat spunky.
Such a cute nose.
I don't know. Anyway, but this was a lot of fun to play with. I also noticed one thing they managed to do here is they got hair right, or at least right enough.
My nose, right?
You get quite a few hairstyles to choose from, and I noticed in game that the hair actually moved naturally with your character, and I was so impressed by that. That's something the Japanese game makers have been getting right for a while, and some of the other developers, Bethesda and BioWare specifically, with their plastic llama poop looking hairstyles, you know, it's like, wow. So it's nice to see
The most beautiful eyes I've ever seen.
a move in the right direction. Now, I might normally tend to kind of fast forward through this, but I just talk to you guys and share a little bit of my first impressions and show you where my settings are at. Not that anyone would want to necessarily copy my character's face, but anyway, just how I got to where I was at, and just talk about just this. You know, honestly, I don't really even know what to say. Like, it's not enough to say, yeah, I like this game. It's not enough to even say that, yeah, I was expecting great and I got even greater than great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that works.
It was looking amazing at the reveal when they showed all the stuff we could do, you know, building the settlements and all that stuff. Okay, it's nice to even see it. And then you think, well, once I get my hands on that, that's going to be some fun. But then once you see what it's actually like and how all that fits into the game experience as a whole, the feel of the world it's Fallout at its heart still. Even when it's all bright and nice outside, there's still a foreboding presence, and there's still that sorrow of what's lost that you can see around you. You know, not just in the decrepit buildings and stuff, but things having been changed, and you know, all the things that were wiped away, they aren't coming back, you know, and they get that. And it's in your face. Now, I have not made it to the major areas of the game. Okay, just say that ahead of time. I'm not even going to throw out what those major areas might be.
Nice.
I've been avoiding spoilers like the plague, but regardless, you know, you're going to hear whispers in the air. You know, if you get on the internet at all, it's going to be kind of in your face. You might juke and dodge most bullets, but every once in a while you'll catch some hints at certain stuff that you might not want to hear. So anyway, I haven't been spoiled for the game as far as that goes, but I do know a bit of maybe some things to expect in some of the major areas, but haven't been there yet, and not enough to where it's going to spoil it when I do get there. And when we do go there, it's going to be new. You know, it's going to be fresh for me. For those of you guys that haven't played yet, or are playing, or just starting, or whatever, or haven't made it really much farther than I have, which is basically nowhere. I got into some of the tutorial stuff. Did do some building to see what they were asking for, got into the crafting to see what the crafting was asking for. My main concern for you guys, honestly, was the special and the perk trees. Seeing as they did away with skills, they've incorporated basically everything into your special tree and into your magazines that you find around the world. Now, when you pick up a skill book, it doesn't give you skill points, it gives you a perk. It might be a +5 chance to do something, or a +5 damage versus something, percent chances, or, stuff like that, okay? And so there's kind of a new mechanic there. Be good to want to go find all those, or at least the one relevant to your character builds. And when it comes to builds, once again, talk about mind being blown. I'm so impressed by what they've given you to create so many different build options. You do have to make sacrifices, at least early on. I don't believe there's actually a level cap, but I'm not sure what the respawn rate, if there is any, for a lot of the enemies in the world are, even though it's a huge game world, including underground and inside areas and other stuff like that. So what you see on the map is actually even bigger than that. So there's a lot of things to fight and a lot of XP to be had and a lot of stuff to kill. But, I'm not sure exactly how far you can level. But for the first, I don't know, it looks like up to about level 40 to 50-ish. That's where you're still building your character. Probably anything higher than that, you're just putting points in just whatever. And then you can start going into God mode. Most people like to by that point in the game anyway, where you put 60, 100, 150, 200 hours in the character. You kind of want to be a badass. Okay, I get it. But it looks like initially, if you want to get more special points to unlock certain perks, you might have to sacrifice putting points into certain perks and then pick and choose which perks you want. And then so many perks go together that now they've made some of the special stats relevant. Charisma is now relevant. Charisma actually matters. And other than skill points, which aren't even a thing anymore, intelligence is just as relevant. But they also pertain to certain play styles. Like strength really pertains to a melee, karate ninja type character. And then agility really caters to a small guns type character. Strength also looks like it pertains to big guns. All right, perception really applies to explosives. Intelligence really applies to energy weapons. And there's perks kind of scattered about where if you look at some of the higher ranks of those perks, they really play into other perks. And so now you have some synergy. There is synergy in the character builds now, and that is friggin' amazing. It's not just a list of perks, pick the ones you want. Now it's perks going with other perks and stuff. And you have to make sacrifices. You have to decide, man, if I spend the next 2 or 3 levels dumping points into agility to get to that, right, so that I can use that perk with this perk, then those are levels that I can't actually put points into the perks that I already have unlocked. Things like Black Widow or things that you might be using for other stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so there's decisions to be made, and those choices in your leveling, those choices and skills that you pick, those choices and things you do, that's what it's about. So there'll be lots of builds. This will be, survival mode, small guns, automatic, silenced weapons, because there's some cool perks that play into the automatic silent sneak attack stuff. All right. There'll be some sniping involved, but I'm not a sniper. I'll be more or less a merc type thing. Not too different than my other Fallout characters, really. Not a whole lot different. It's kind of where I'm getting that from. My next character, and if I do any characters in other playthroughs, what I'll do is if I try some different builds, I'll do a video on that build. Like I'll do a specifically ninja build, and I don't know what melee weapons are available in the game. That's still going to really be new to me. I know there's that one weapon waiting out there somewhere in Boston that's got my name written all over it, and I just haven't found it yet. I know there is. All right. I haven't gotten that far yet. But as far as melee weapon goes, I don't know if there's katanas. I don't know if there's short katanas. I don't know if there's twin daggers. I don't think there's any dual wielding in the game. But anyway, I'm not sure exactly what to really look forward to. But I'd like to do a melee build because there's some really good melee possibilities. A lot in agility and a lot in strength, and there's some really cool stuff in there that you could put together. The silenced weapons aren't a whole lot different. You're basically hitting with your gun rather than your fist, but it's a very similar build. Okay, so for those of you that are curious, some of you have already asked, and I hadn't even started doing anything on this game yet. I'll go ahead and tell you my target special stats early on. And unless I can maybe afford to dump a few extra points, there's a couple stats that I would like to have at a straight 10, but the perks aren't they aren't relevant. So I'm really going on the perks that specifically work with one another and work well with what I want to do. Getting those up to where I need to have them. My target stats, and that's after I find the bobblehead, okay? So this is what I plan on finishing with, although I may raise one or two of these stats a little higher at some point later in the game when maybe if I get some trash points to spend. But is Special 4, Strength 4, Perception 5, Endurance 6, Charisma 6, believe it or not, Intelligence 4. If I was into energy weapons, maybe I would go higher than that, but I'm not going to be using any energy weapons. All right, Agility 8 and Luck 7. Now that luck doesn't give you percentage critical chance, criticals work differently in this game. Criticals are basically something you build up to by hitting things successfully in VATS, is the gist of it, the basics of it. But there's lots of different buffs that you can get to increase your critical meter, your gauge building and stuff. In fact, some perks will actually fill it outright. Basically, if you get a critical, you get another critical for free. That type of stuff. So there's some really cool things in there. But anyway, so luck doesn't need to be at 10. Only recently really started jacking my luck up like that on Fallout games. Anyway, I wasn't always the biggest fan of that. I preferred perception, agility, and stuff like that. Agility, the ranks 9 and 10 look cool in agility, but and I'll probably eventually get it to 10, but let's say I don't have those 2 points. Let's say it really comes time much later in the game. Like I say, I haven't been there yet, so I don't know. A lot of this is kind of vague, and I don't know if this is like my quote-unquote perfect build. This is what I see now, not having seen what the game's available, not having seen all the extra points you might have coming to you, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There may be some surprise quests that give you free points and things like in strength, endurance, agility, and stuff. And I'll find out that there was a point I put into a particular special stat early that I didn't have to if I'd have just done this quest. Like, for example, the fire ants in Fallout 3. You can get a free point to strength or perception by finishing that quest. Well, if you don't know that ahead of time, and you say you wanted your strength to be at a specific number, and you get it to that number, even with the strength bobblehead, and you find out you could have gotten that point free and spent it in something else, right? And so choices have to be made here. And by the end of the game, I hope to find exactly where I can maybe take a few away and make an even stronger character earlier. Because if I don't have to put a point in this or put a point in that early on, if I know I can wait to find that point for free later on in the game, then there you go. So I was thinking about all that, but this is just a target special score, all right? So it'd be 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 8, 7. That's what I was looking at, and that opens up the perks that I feel go together and that do what I want to do based on what I see in the game. And also keeping in mind the role playing aspect. It's not just, sure enough, it is about kicking ass and getting your ass kicked less. That's what it's all about. But as far as the role playing element, what allows me to do everything in the game? And so charisma plays into that, like getting caravan traders and stuff, and even building certain things in your settlement, like a trader's booth. Well, you got to get a trader there in the first place to build a trader's booth, to have stuff that you can sell at home and buy at home, right? A constant ammo supply, things like this. Then you can even get certain the commerce, the economy, and the crafting are so through the roof in this game. Oh my gosh, it's a game in and of itself. You could spend all day building a settlement. I'm not going to say I maybe did spend all day building a settlement when I should have been off studying other things in the game, but I might have done that because it was just too cool. And wait till you see the house that I made. Anyway, so there you have it. But we'll see all that special stuff by the time the game's over. We got a long Let's Play to go ahead of us. We're going to do half exploring and then half I don't know. We're just going to go where the game leads us and just kind of play like that. And, at the end of the game, I'll look back and it'll be like that run that I normally do before I start sharing my game with you guys. When I look back, I'll say, if I'd have done this a whole lot earlier to save me time on that, and then I wouldn't have had to do this and do that or spend this or buy that. I could have just had that for free. And, you look back and you look at all the different things you could have done. Then it's like, all right, put in another quarter. Let me go again. That's what these games are for, is replay. Replay and replay and replay. And just try a different playthrough to get a different follower, to get a follower earlier in the game so you can enjoy their company for more of the game instead of less. Like in Fallout 3, it was going and getting Clover at level 5 if I could, just so I could have her for the whole game instead of just finding her, you know, that type of thing. Find a favorite follower and romance that follower, or get that follower as a you know, as a companion or whatever, early. Find a particular weapon early so you can play the whole game with it because it's a lot of fun to use. This type of stuff. All right. So the more you learn, the more you want to do. And most other games is the more you learn, the more you're tired of it. And well, been there, done that. You know, let's go get another game. With this one, the more you play, the more you want to play, you know, and it feeds on itself. And that's what's amazing. And from what I've seen, this one's going to be through the roof, like totally through the roof. I cannot imagine the hours that this game is going to sponge for my life over the next year. Seriously. Just freaking, I mean, Fallout 3 was bad. This is, I'd even venture to say better. I don't know, you know, haven't gotten that far into the story and stuff, but you know, the combat's right now. The gunplay is right. The characters look good. When they move, when they fight and stuff. VATS is still cool. They've changed some stuff, but it's still cool. They brought over the good stuff from New Vegas. You know, some of the combat ideas and stuff like that. The graphics are amazing in my opinion. The art style is unique and it's consistent throughout the world. When I can walk up to like some grass and some bushes and then all the leaves are like swaying independently and all that stuff. Okay. You got me with that. I'm totally cool with that. Doesn't need to be much better, you know? So anyway, there's my character. Thought this was a pretty cool look. I can honestly see after I have a lot of time on this, and it won't be anytime soon. And this I can promise it won't be anytime soon because I have a lot of playing to do.
Why don't you see if breakfast is ready?
But maybe get in and even do some celebrity faces, you know, kind of like I did with Inquisition. I did a few of them over there just to play. Some of them turned out, some of them didn't, you know, but whatever, it was fun. And with this, we might be able to get even closer to some of these. Some of the good ones like Angelina Jolie, or, you know, the popular ones, Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise, or I don't know, whoever.
We really need to get those vacation photos developed. I'm so proud of him.
You can kind of get a look at our character and our family here. Looking around at some of this stuff.
Oh, how'd you get on the floor, Mr. Bear? Wonder what Sean will grow up to be.
Little dude. I love this right here. This brings back memories. That's just memories right there with the special book. Come on, man. Just got done playing Fallout 3 not too long ago, and still it's just the feels. Just the strong feels. Seriously. I love my games. I really, really, really do.
Your coffee, 173.5 degrees Fahrenheit, brewed to perfection.
Thanks, Codsworth.
Of course, Mum.
Sugar bombs. 100% daily value of sugar.
All picture perfect. Looks a lot like Tranquility Lane, right? And everything's all super clean.
Salisbury steak. Rated A+. Nuka-Cola. Ice cold. Looks like the milk got delivered.
Oh, sounds like someone
How can someone so small drink so much?
I know we were nervous at first, but
More of the
I'm
same.
glad we got Codsworth.
Now who left those here?
Who did leave the cigarettes here? That's a question. That set up flags with me.
Rognak the Barbarian and the Jungle of the Bat Babies.
Had someone already been here talking to the husband? You know?
Good old US of A.
I would be curious if any of you have played a male character and looked at those cigarettes, just and activated them on, you know, just on some off chance. If he says the same thing or if he says something different.
It's that salesman again. I don't know why he
Not that the husband has any more insight, but it's possible he may have already been talking to somebody about this right here.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Vault-Tec? Remind me again.
Why, we're about you, ma'am, and helping secure your future. You see, Vault-Tec is the foremost builder of state-of-the-art underground fallout shelters. Vaults, if you will. Luxury accommodations where you can wait out the horrors of nuclear devastation. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
What's so important?
Why, nothing less than your entire future. If you haven't noticed, ma'am, this country has gone to heck in a handbasket. If you'll excuse my language, the big kaboom is... it's inevitable, I'm afraid. And coming sooner than you may think, if you catch my meaning. Now, I know you're a busy woman, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being, a precious commodity. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family's service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
But I have a family. You can fit us all, right?
Of course, of course. Minus your robot, naturally. In fact, you're already cleared for entrance. It's just a matter of verifying some information. Don't want there to be any holdups in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation. Won't take but a moment.
Tell me more about this vault.
Oh, it has all the amenities of the modern home, I assure you. Not to mention total protection from nuclear radiation and hostile mutants. A better future underground. It's not only our mission, it's our passion.
Sure, let's do it.
Splendid! Splendid. Now, let's see.
All right, here we go. Similar to how you start with the special book in Fallout 3. And the, was that the something something in New Vegas, that jukebox looking thing? What was that thing called? Something Omatic or something? Anyway. Like I say, my eventual target base special stats will be 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 8, 7. Now, I don't have enough to get my agility and luck up, but the next few levels, what I'll do is I'll drop a point back and forth between agility and luck till I get them where I need them. Like I want them to be 8 and 7, so I'll get them to 7 and 6, and then hope to find the bobbleheads. May eventually go look up to see where those bobbleheads might be, just out of curiosity, because trying to find random item in the middle of this world is as formidable a task as trying to find the bobbleheads in Fallout 3 was. I mean, some of them were almost impossible to find anyway. Did find in my limited playing, I did find the perception and the repair, believe it or not, kind of on my own, but probably walked past 7 or 8 more of them just wandering a bit. Like I say, that was just really to get an idea of the fighting and questing and kind of get, see how everything went. And anyway. All right, but this is good for now.
That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
It's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
Yeah, he sure seemed to be just a little bit hasty, right? And all those TVs we saw in Fallout 3, this is what they look like. I always wanted to see one running, and there we go.
Refuses to calm down. I think he needs some of that maternal affection you seem to be so good at.
Go ahead, honey. I'll be there in a second to help, okay?
And that's where we'll start the next one. We'll go take care of the kid. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. For those of you that knew and those of you that have been here for a while, I really appreciate you dropping in. share your time with me. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. For this Let's Play, you can click that image in the middle. It should send you to the playlist. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.